Well, hello and welcome to a very special race here today. We have some marvellous machines down on the grid that in just a few moments will be accelerating up to some really high speeds indeed to compete for a prestigious Grand Prix victory. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today? And how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
It's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres do have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperature they need to maintain in order to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Gasly, Max Verstappen and Vettel, Perez, Hülkenberg, Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Sainz, Kevin Magnussen, Stroll, Ericsson, Stoffel van Dorn and Sergei Sorokin. Alonso and Brendan Hartley rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 9 of the F1 2020 Charles Leclerc mod career mode. We're back today here now at almost the halfway stage of this championship. We head to Austria, one of my favourite tracks on the Formula 1 calendar, and obviously a race last year that saw a brilliant last lap battle between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. But today though, heading into this one, we have got one aim and one aim only: to continue our charge towards a second World Championship in the mod career mode series though. However, if you missed out on the last video, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. It was quite an interesting one. Some strange occurrences, the extraterrestrial occurring in the world of Formula 1. But as we head to Austria today, hopefully some normality can resume. I was a little bit unlucky not to get pole at the end of qualifying, but Bottas did set a really good qualifying time. Hopefully though today, the Ferrari generally is a little better on race pace, so hopefully we can try and stick with him and make a nice simple overtake. But we're ready then on the grid for round 9 of the championship. The lights are coming on then for the Austrian Grand Prix. It is 5 red lights and it is lights out, and away we go then. Not a particularly long hold whatsoever. We don't get a particularly good start, luckily. Neither does Hamilton as we head down in towards turn 1. Got to give the Mercedes room there, and Hamilton right around the outside of us through the first corner there and straight up into second place of the Grand Prix there. So a good job by the Mercedes man as we head up the hill very late on the brakes there. Certainly don't feel like we could have matched him up the top of the hill. That yellow flag's out towards the rear of the field. I'm guessing there's just been a bit of concertina and up. And yeah, it appears everyone has got through the start procedure all okay. But yeah, Hamilton, a brilliant getaway for the Mercedes man there. Bottas though as well. Couldn't have asked for much more of a better start here. And I mean, at the moment, we at Ferrari, we need to start taking some points back at Mercedes in the Constructors. We're doing everything we need to in the Drivers' Championship. But Seb, he's been unlucky over the last few rounds of this series, so we'll wait and see as to what he can do today. But by the looks of it, I think he's actually dropped into the midfield of the start. I think he's down to P7 behind Perez, who always seems to be the thorn in the side of the top runners here. But end of lap 1 though, Bottas fastest lap of the Grand Prix. As you'd probably expect, we're trying to potentially have a line of a move on Hamilton through turn 1 though. Mercedes just dumps it on the apex, so we can't make the move work there. We're going to try and use all of our ERS, all of our fuel. To the outside we go as we head up the hill. Not quite where you want to be, hopefully though. No, Hamilton keeps the nose up the inside. We lock up, have to take evasive action, and we get an illegal overtake.
Illegal maneuver, seat that position.
Have to let Hamilton back through. Okay, not too sure what that's all about, mate, but clearly I'm not on Hamilton's Christmas card list. No idea what that was all about, but we shall continue trying to push. Bottas obviously new fastest lap of the race there. He's pulled out another good bit of time over both Hamilton and myself, but down in towards turn 1, it's a bit of deja vu. Hamilton locks up though this time. Completely slams the door shut on the exit. Can now, though, with the DRSs get past it, should be a fairly textbook move, especially with the running out of turn 1, and yes we do. Move straight up now into P2 of the Grand Prix, but Bottas is already 4.2 seconds up the road after just over 2 laps worth of racing here. Albon now gets himself up into P3 as well, so maybe we can try and drag the Red Bull along just a bit, but we need to try and close up the gap to Bottas at the front, otherwise he's just going to break away, and there's going to be very little we can do in the second half of this Grand Prix.
You'll be on the super softs.
New fastest lap of the Grand Prix then. We took a good few tenths out of Bottas that lap, but he is still very, very quick around this circuit at the moment. I mean, he's managed to get a bit lucky at the start with Hamilton and myself squabbling, but we're not able to close up by much each lap at the moment. Just trying to take 10th by 10th out of him in each of the sectors, get down the power nicely. But yeah, it might come down to the pit stop window. We will have to wait and see.
Caution, caution.
Oh, yellow flag's out. What's that? Don't say it's Bottas. Don't tell me Bottas. It's Bottas that's going slowly. As soon as I said that, I've jinxed it for the poor Mercedes driver there. I'll be honest, I didn't think we'd have enough to close up to him in this race, but Bottas is out of the Austrian Grand Prix from a comfortable race victory, the second time that's happened to Mercedes this season. Obviously flashbacks to Hamilton all the way back at the Chinese Grand Prix at the start of the season there, and that must be absolutely heartbreaking for Valtteri. It honestly felt like he was on for his second win in a row there, but for us it's yet another twist in this 2020 tale so far, but we're now up into the lead of the Grand Prix. Now it's just a case of trying to hang on. Hamilton and the Red Bulls seem to be squabbling a bit behind us, which is allowing us to make a bit of a breakaway, but as we proved last time at France, mistakes can easily be made.
Box, we're coming in this lap.
Lap 7, and the team want us in on the end of this lap, so we're going to try and take the super softs, I'm going to guess, to the end of the Grand Prix there, but Hamilton and Albon still very close together there. Verstappen's hanging on to the pair of them as well, and then you've just got Perez and my teammate a little bit further back. If Seb can't get past Perez, surely for F1 2021 his seat is going to have to be lost. But at the moment we're doing everything we need to. Let's just try and make sure obviously we keep it nice and tidy as we head in for the pit stop window. Tyres are definitely going off. Ant was obviously talking about before the Grand Prix that tyre temps, or track temp even I should say, sorry, was quite low here today in Austria, and I'm definitely feeling it at the moment. The car, it just isn't biting as much as I hoped it would be. And you can see now the gap to Hamilton behind us has started to come down there, down in towards the final couple of corners though. Let's just try and get a nice tidy run into the pit lane. Are any of the other big names going to follow us in? Make sure we get it slowed down. Just about there. Hamilton, everyone stays out by the looks of it. Seb has now moved back past Perez as well, though. And this is going to be interesting to see where this puts us in this Grand Prix then. We're going to come out, I think, pretty much at the rear of the field, which is pretty standard in this series. But I'm already seeing quite a few of the AI on a set of these supers, so they might get in the way for a couple of extra laps here. Make sure we don't hit the pit exit wall. And yeah, we've come back out then in P17 of the race, only ahead of Kvyat, and I'm guessing Latifi. Seb now is in the pits as well as most of the top runners there. I think Verstappen's opted to stay out for one lap longer, so we'll wait and see as to where we re-emerge in this race relative to those guys. I mean, it's been a fairly tidy lap, so we should still be up in the lead of this race there. And heading back down the pit lane, yes, you can see Hamilton there as we head down in towards turn 1. Is still close, but not as close as he was. We still have hold on to an effective net lead of the Grand Prix unless Verstappen can pull out a whirly. Now starting to close it to the rear of the rest of the field here, and this is where it could get a bit difficult for us, Because we're going to see now, just as you look up the road there, AI start to trip over each other as the Mclaren tries to dive into the pit lane, and it's really allowed Hamilton. And I've clicked the wrong button! I've done that again! It happened at Canada, it's happened now as well. Anyway, back racing we go. You see Gasly now is going to try and go defensive on the run down towards turn 1, and it's... look at that! The AlphaTauri getting in the way, and Hamilton now might be able to capitalise on that as we head out of turn 1. We've got to give him the room around the outside. He's going to have the slipstream there. Gasly, what is Hamilton paying him there? What a lunge! Darting back to the outside from the Mercedes man there. The AlphaTauri just sat in the way there, trying to get a good run on the exit of the corner here, and now we need to try and get past him as Hamilton has flown past us down the hill then. What is Gasly doing? Why are you trying to defend this from us, man? Come on, just get out the way. But we're past him now. I remember the P6 once again of the Grand Prix. But yeah, Hamilton now in front of us. He's got the upper hand, but as you just saw what happened to us, that could very, very easily happen to Hamilton here. As now George Russell is the man sat in the way. Is Hamilton going to go for anything? Oh, a bit of darting around there as George dives into the pits. We've got to give him the room. Giovinazzi coming in as well. It's all getting a bit congested at the moment there. We've still got one of the Alphas out. That must be Kimi Räikkönen still out on the racetrack here. He is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix, but we've now got the run on Hamilton as we head down into turn 1. But once again, just like we saw earlier on, Hamilton parking the bus through the first few corners here. Can we try and get the run as we head up the hill to the outside? We go with the Mercedes. Is he going to try and keep the nose there this time? Oh, a lot of understeer all of a sudden as we get loose over the curbing. That might allow Hamilton an opportunity back past us as we head back down the hill. It's a drag race. Hamilton, though, does have the inside. He's much, much later on the brakes. Parks it once again just in front of us on the exit of the corner there. A little bit of a squeeze as we head down the hill. But what a battle this is turning into between Hamilton and myself. Could we potentially hold it right around the outside as we head through the double left-hander here? Surely we can't do that. Hamilton, though, he's given us the room. No way have we just been able to pull that off on the Mercedes man here. We're still side by side as we head down in towards the final couple of corners there. Hamilton tries to do the same. We tried to give him the room as we head... oh, big mistake out the final corner there. Trying to get the power down. What a battle this has turned into all of a sudden there. Hamilton straight back past us though with the DRS. We now got to watch out for Albon just behind us as we head down through turn 1. Getting a little bit early on the power, but that's okay. Albon loses out ever so slightly there. He won't be able to pressurise this, so we might get a clean run on Hamilton as we head up the hill. Bit of a dive coming in. We'll make sure we give him the room. But we pulled it off. And we're now back up into the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. That all got very, very exciting very, very quickly. That somehow allowed Seb now back up into P4 and back into this podium battle as well. Verstappen's dropped out ever so slightly. But now we've got 6 laps to go. We need to try and break the DRS if we possibly can. Obviously, Hamilton's still our main title rival at the moment, as I don't want to be out there. But yeah, 6 laps to go, like I said. Gap, though, just 0.3 of a second at the moment. I'm sure if any opportunity is given, Hamilton is always going to pounce. 5 laps to go, then Hamilton has not given up on this just yet here. The gap's still just 0.4 of a second as we head down in towards turn 1. We cannot afford to make a mistake in this Grand Prix, or that could really, really cost us here. And look at the slingshot Hamilton's got off the exit of turn 1, reminiscent to 2016 here from Hamilton. Oh, a little bit of a lock-up. Oh, tries to give me the squeeze as well, but it's still on the inside, mate. But Hamilton's done it. Back up now into the lead of the Grand Prix. And I mean, Austria has played host to so many great late-rate battles in the modern hybrid era here, but could 2020 be another? Hamilton makes a bit of a mistake there. I'm not too sure if he bailed out, if there was a tiny bit of contact or what, but we suddenly re-inherit the lead of this race once again, but it is certainly not over yet. 3 laps to go, then Hamilton's going to give it another crack as we head up the hill once again. We force him to the outside. What is going to happen this time round? Is he going to give us the room? Hamilton has a bit of a lock-up. We've got to make sure we give him the room on the exit there. And once again, Hamilton still looking to the outside. This time round, we've got the DRS, though. Oh, a bit of contact. Once again, coming out between myself and the Mercedes driver there. We haven't got much in the way of spare fuel. Hamilton, though, can he hook it up around the outside? What a move from the Mercedes driver. Once again, we try to have a look to the inside. Hamilton, though, defends that one. Can we go side by side down the hill once again? No, just make a bit of a mistake. And that is going to allow Hamilton to hold on, but he just sits on the apex once again. He's done that so many times in this Grand Prix there. Just look at how tight he's forcing us to the track limits at the moment. Hamilton wants this race victory more than anything at the moment if he wants to try and get himself back in this title fight. He's had too many results recently where he's just lost, you know, either 3 or 7 points to us. And as we head down into turn 1, is he going to park it again? Yes, he does. That gives us some front wing damage. That's not what we needed there from Hamilton. I feel like he's taking it a bit too far at the moment as we head up the hill once again, though. Should be able to make the move work around the outside. Reach the top of the hill, and yes, we're now back up into the lead of the Grand Prix. But yeah, just over a lap and a half to go then. Hamilton is obviously going to be able to stick with us now unless he makes a big mistake here down the hill. Once more, get the car rotated in. You can just see that damage already cost us a bit of time here. Forget how much time front wing damage costs you back on F1 2018. Hamilton, though, to the outside and to the S's there. He's given us the room before. We're not going to be so friendly, I'll be honest. As we head down in towards the final couple of corners then of the lap. Hopefully we can do what we need to try and hold on to this race lead. Like I said, Austria, this place has held so many classic races in its very short stint back on the Formula 1 calendar, but it is still definitely a classic in the world of Formula 1. Breaking down in towards turn 1. Is Hamilton going to be able to get the slingshot that we've seen so many times from him so far? He's a little bit further back this time round, but he is still gaining in on us as we head up the hill. Is he going to be close enough to go for a dive? Trying to keep it nice and tidy on the brakes, just running a little bit deep there. But we get on the power nice and early once again. Hamilton, though, still right behind us as we try to break the toe as best as possible there. Is he going to get close enough? I don't think he is. Hamilton not quite close enough to go for the move, but this is where we lose a lot more time due to that front wing damage here. Hamilton, though, still all over the back of us. Don't see he's going to look up the inside in towards the double right-hander here. We have to give him the room. We can't afford to give him the squeeze there. Hamilton's done it. He's up the inside. Parks it once again in front of us. And we light it up over the curbs there, and that was not what we needed. Get in the way of Verstappen. That is not what the Austrians will want to see. That a 5-second stop-go penalty for the collision with Verstappen there as we try to rejoin the circuit. Another controversial penalty for ourselves there. Verstappen's out of the Grand Prix. We've got so much front wing damage there. Where are we going to finish? That all really did hit boiling point at the end. But it's going to be P5 at the end of the day. What a crazy race that was in the end. That was certainly manic on that final lap.
A great win then for the Mercedes team today. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Well, I think it has to be Fernando Alonso. He got the strategy spot on and consistently had the pace to come through as well.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
What a crazy race that was in the end. I mean, we got a little bit lucky to hold on to P5 ahead of Ocon and Grosjean there. But yeah, felt a little bit gutted with that. I felt Hamilton moved in front of us. We tried not to run into the back of him there and dropped the rears on the exit of the corner there. Got into the wall, tried to get back on track as quickly as possible. And yeah, you know, apologies to Max Verstappen. That was completely my fault at the end of the day there. But Hamilton takes another race victory there and a lot of points out of me in the title fight in the process there. Albon comes through, and look at Seb. From early on, I was talking smack about it, and he comes through at the end of the day to finish P2 there. Albon gets his second Formula 1 podium. Perez in 4th place. They're only 5 seconds off the race victory with a Racing Point. It's a fantastic job for that team as well. There's Charles Leclerc, myself in P5 ahead of Ocon, Grosjean, Ricciardo, Magnussen and Raikkonen getting another point for Alfa Romeo there. Giovinazzi, Russell, Gasly, Kvyat, and then you can see further down Sainz, Norris, Stroll, Latifi, and then obviously Verstappen and Bottas, 2 heavy hitters not making it through to the end of the Grand Prix there when all is said and done. In terms of the championship though, our gap at the top down to just 17 points there. Hamilton's basically halved it after that good result for him and Mercedes there, and that was not what we needed as we head towards the halfway stage of the championship. Albon though, now 4 points behind my teammate Sebastian Vettel with that result. Perez jumps back up to best of the rest there, now tied with Ricciardo, and you can see Magnussen drops back down ever so slightly there. Grosjean gets the jump on Sainz, and then no other chopping and changing in the Drivers' Championship. Constructors though, Ferrari, we're now tied with Mercedes at the top of the Teams' Championship, so it is definitely going to be a crazy, crazy second half of the season there. But if you guys did enjoy this video, do make sure you get yourself subscribed. Let me know your thoughts and feelings to that final lap down in the comments below. But we will return next time when we head to, I think, the British Grand Prix.